Okay, let's dive in. Today we're exploring a concept that, well, on the surface, seems incredibly simple.
Right. Almost maybe too simple for the kind of high-pressure worlds you operate in.
Exactly. Whether that's leading teams, pushing athletic boundaries, or growing your business. But our source material today, an article by Coach Ed Padalecki called The Water Pot Principle, suggests this simple idea is actually key.
A key to building sustainable, high-level performance.
Precisely. And the principle itself comes from, well, ancient wisdom. It's rooted in a quote often linked to the Buddha.
The one about the water pot.
That's the one. Little by little, one becomes evil as a water pot is filled with water. Little by little, one becomes good as a water pot is filled with water.
Such a powerful metaphor.
It really is. And Coach Padalecki uses this as the foundation, the bedrock, for understanding how real change, the kind that sticks, actually happens.
How it compounds over time.
So our mission here in this deep dive is to unpack how this seemingly basic idea becomes a really potent strategy.
Specifically for high achievers. For you listening, people always looking for that edge.
That path to consistent improvement, breakthrough results.
And we're going to do more than just talk about the concept, right? We'll dig into how it works practically.
What does drop by drop actually look like day to day?
Exactly. And crucially, we'll explore the science Coach Padalecki points to. The psychology behind why this little by little thing often beats the alternative.
The alternative. Let's start there. As well, if you're driven, you definitely know this one.
I think we all do.
Coach Padalecki calls it the fire hose trap. You know that feeling, right? You read something amazing, hear a great talk, maybe even this deep dive.
Or attend a seminar, big inspiration hits.
And bam, this huge surge of motivation. The thought is immediate. That's it. Change everything.
Starting yesterday.
Totally. You decide, okay, I'm fixing my sleep, new fitness plan, implementing 3 leadership frameworks.
Deep work for 2 hours daily, journaling, cold showers, fasting.
The whole 9 yards. It just explodes. It's that all-in, transform my life by Tuesday whirlwind.
That feeling is powerful, though.
Oh, incredibly compelling. That inner voice saying, this is it. Total transformation. Watch out, world.
And maybe for, 72 hours? You actually pull it off?
Right, you hit it hard. You're doing all the things. Feels amazing. But then, what does Coach Padalecki point out? What always happens?
Reality. Life.
Exactly. That huge motivation surge, it fades. It just does. Life intervenes, work, crisis, sick kid, travel.
Just plain exhaustion sometimes.
And that water pot you tried to fill instantly with that fire hose of effort.
It cracks. Or the water just evaporates.
And you're left feeling, well, maybe even worse than before. Dry, empty, and now maybe a bit like you failed.
That feeling of failure can be really discouraging.
So does that sound familiar to you listening? If you've been pushing for performance, trying to level up, you've probably hit this trap.
I know I have. Multiple times.
It's so seductive, isn't it? Feels like massive action, massive progress.
But it's rarely sustainable.
Exactly. Coach Padalecki really put his finger on something fundamental there, that all-or-nothing intensity.
It's so common, especially with high achievers. Your own drive works against you sometimes.
You want it all, and you want it now.
And sports psychologists see this pattern constantly. It leads to burnout, frustration.
And it actually stalls the long-term growth you're aiming for.
Right. You spend huge energy, make a big splash, but it's not built on anything solid, so you slide back.
The fire hose feels powerful, sure, but it drains the tank fast and, like you said, can break the pot.
Okay, so if the fire hose is the trap, what's the way out? What's Coach Padalecki's alternative?
This is where it gets good. Enter the water pot mindset. This is where that ancient idea becomes a modern strategy. Ditch the fire hose.
Embrace the drip.
Yes. The core actions are simple, almost deceptively so. Drop by drop, plus 1% by plus 1%.
Tiny improvement.
Repeated consistently. That's it. That's the mindset.
And this connects directly to what we know about deliberate practice, doesn't it?
Coach P makes that link explicitly.
When you look at true mastery, sports, music, business, whatever, it's not built on giant leaps.
No sudden transformation.
It's built on intelligent, intentional reps. Executed consistently, over time, lots of time.
So this forces us to rethink what high performance even is.
Right. It's not just about bursts of maximum intensity. That's fleeting.
It's about intelligent consistency.
That's the phrase. It's the power of that steady drip. Showing up, adding that little bit day after day.
That's what ultimately fills a pot and keeps it full.
Intensity makes noise, consistency builds substance. I like that.
It's a great distinction, especially for people wired for intensity, like many high performers are.
It feels wrong, almost weak, to go small when you know you can go big.
Totally counterintuitive. And Coach Padalecki gives us the sports psychology term for this, process focus. Instead of obsessing over the big outcome, the full pot, the championship win, the huge promotion.
The things that feel far away and maybe overwhelming.
Exactly. You deliberately shift your focus. You dial in on the small, repeatable behaviors.
The things you can actually control right now, today.
Yes. The little actions that move you just that tiny bit forward.
So it's about controlling the controllables.
That's a great way to put it. And this is how top performers build everything: skills, confidence, identity, results.
One micro win at a time.
You literally become the person who does the small things consistently, not just the person who tries the big things sometimes.
That identity piece is huge.
It really is. Okay, let's make this really concrete. Let's look at some drop-by-drop examples, similar to what Coach P uses.
Good idea. Bring it to life.
All right. Say you want to be a better communicator with your team, more connected, more effective.
Okay, common goal.
The fire hose approach. You come back from that conference fired up, right?
Ready to change the world by lunch.
And you try to overhaul all your meetings tomorrow. New feedback systems, radical candor everywhere, intense skip-level one-on-ones with everyone by Friday.
Whoa. Overwhelming for everyone involved. Probably unsustainable.
Totally. Now, the drop approach. Coach P's principle suggests maybe just commit to asking one more thoughtful question.
Just one.
One more open-ended question in your next scheduled one-on-one today. That's it. That's the drop.
Manageable. Actionable today, I see.
Or another one. Reclaiming morning energy. You feel drained.
The fire hose. That's deciding tonight that tomorrow you start the perfect, rigid, 90-minute miracle morning.
Right. Meditation, workout, journaling, special hydration, supplements, the whole Instagram-worthy routine.
Which you've maybe never stuck to for more than 2 days straight.
Exactly. The drop approach here. According to Coach Padalecki's principle.
Simpler.
Much simpler. Tonight, just commit to getting to bed 15 minutes earlier than last night.
Just 15 minutes.
Just 15 minutes. A single manageable drop. Respects your reality, but still moves you forward.
Okay, I like that. One more?
Let's do one more. Building a writing habit. Maybe for work proposals, reports, thought leadership, whatever.
Crucial skill for many professionals.
The fire hose is blocking out 2 solid hours tomorrow. I will write 2,000 words or else.
Setting yourself up for potential failure right there.
Probably. The drop. Today, just commit to 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes of focused writing or even journaling related to your goals. Set a timer. Just 5. That's your drop in the writing pot for today.
Wow. Okay. It feels almost too small.
That's the point. And Coach Padalecki really hammers this. Each tiny drop matters. The magic is in the consistency over time.
They compound?
Exactly. They compound into something solid, unshakable. It's not just filling the pot, it's strengthening it.
And this isn't just a nice idea or philosophy. Coach P points out there's real science behind why this works.
Right. Let's get into that. Why is little by little so effective psychologically?
Well, one key reason is something called the Zeigarnik effect. Ever heard of it?
Vaguely. Remind me.
It's our brain's tendency to remember unfinished tasks better than finished ones. Creates a kind of mental tension.
Okay. Like an open loop.
Exactly. Now think about the fire hose. You start a dozen huge things. Your brain is just full of these stressful open loops, overwhelmed city.
Makes sense.
But commit to a micro habit. One small drop. That task is easy to complete. Finishing it closes the loop. You get this frequent, tangible sense of completion, progress, and that little hit of satisfaction fuels your motivation for the next small step.
So each drop reinforces the desire for the next drop.
Precisely. It's a positive feedback loop powered by completion.
That's smart. It feels less daunting than facing that mountain of unfinished fire hose stuff.
Totally. And this connects straight into the second principle Coach Padalecki talks about, confidence conditioning.
Conditioning confidence, how does that work?
Every single time you successfully do that small drop, ask the question, go to bed 15 minutes early, write for 5 minutes, you give yourself proof.
Proof of what?
Proof that I am the kind of person who follows through, even on small things, especially on small things.
So it's not just about the task, it's about building your self-image, your identity.
Exactly. You reinforce the belief in your own consistency, your capability, your discipline. It's identity-based change.
Which is way more powerful than just relying on willpower.
Way more durable. Your confidence gets conditioned by these consistent small successes, not just by chasing huge, infrequent wins.
So you build the belief by being consistent, even in tiny ways.
Wow, you got it. Conditioning the mindset through action. And the third piece Coach P mentions relates to cognitive load theory.
Cognitive load. like mental bandwidth.
Exactly that. High performers, like you listening, are already juggling a lot mentally. Decisions, complex tasks, constant input.
Our brains are busy.
Very. Now, try launching that fire hose strategy, multiple big, hard changes all at once. What happens?
Overload, burnout, things fall through the cracks.
Bingo. It massively increases your cognitive load. You feel scattered, tired, less effective because you just don't have the mental RAM to manage it all.
In there.
But focusing on one small drop, that takes minimal mental effort to initiate and track. It reduces cognitive load.
So it protects your focus and energy for the main things.
Exactly. You can direct your valuable mental resources to your core work or sport while still making consistent progress on your development.
Okay, so let's recap the science bit. Zeigarnik effect driving momentum,
Confidence conditioning, building that identity.
and cognitive load management protecting your energy and focus.
Put it all together and it becomes crystal clear, just like Coach Padalecki lays it out.
Little by little is the high-performance strategy.
It's not passive. It's not less ambitious. It's actually the smart, science-backed way to build something that lasts.
Okay, so we've unpacked the trap, the principle, the examples, the science. Now what?
Time for action.
Exactly. Here's your challenge today, inspired directly by Coach P's call to action. Choose your drop.
Make it personal.
Make it personal. Make it actionable today. Step 1. Pick one micro behavior, just one, in one area where you want to grow.
Like energy, leadership, focus, communication.
Whatever feels most important for you right now, just pick one single domain.
Okay, got it. Step 2.
Define your drop. Be really specific and honest here. What's one tiny, almost ridiculously small thing you can actually do today?
That moves you just 1% forward.
Is it asking that one extra question? Bedtime 15 minutes earlier tonight, writing for 5 minutes, meditating for 2, one push-up.
Make it so small you can't fail.
Pretty much. So small you can't say no. What is your single specific drop for today?
Okay, and step 3.
Step 3. Celebrate it. Coach Padalecki really emphasizes this. It's key for that confidence conditioning.
Don't just tick the box and move on.
Right. When you do that tiny drop, pause. Acknowledge it. And here's the crucial part. Say to yourself, maybe silently, maybe out loud.
Oh, that's like me.
That's like me. Why that phrase?
Because you're actively reinforcing the identity. You're telling your brain, see, this is who I am now. Someone who does these small, consistent things.
You're conditioning the belief, building the identity drop by drop.
That's how it works.
Coach Padalecki has this great final thought about high performers that ties it all together.
He says they aren't ultimately obsessed with perfection.
Perfectionism, another trap.
Exactly. Maybe just a sneakier form of the fire hose. It can paralyze you or burn you out just as easily.
So what are they obsessed with then?
Progress. They get that real greatness, lasting achievement. It isn't built in some heroic weekend push.
Not in the big, visible moment only.
No. It's built quietly, consistently, in those everyday moments when maybe nobody's watching.
It's the intelligent repetition, the small things compounding.
That's what builds the extraordinary.
So the big message from this deep dive into Coach Padalecki's water pot principle seems pretty clear and actually quite freeing.
How so?
You don't need that overwhelming pressure of trying to flood your life with massive change all at once.
A fire hose is not the way.
It's unsustainable. Instead, just ground yourself in the power of the drip.
Make the next drop count.
Identify that one tiny thing for today. Commit. Do it. And then give yourself that little mental high five. That's like me.
Simple but powerful.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on, building on Coach P's idea about compounding.
Okay.
Given how much solid, unshakable progress can come from just one tiny drop, repeated consistently, what else in your life right now might seem insignificant?
Something that feels almost not worth the effort.
Yeah. In your performance, your leadership, your health. What small thing, if you just committed to that single drop day after day?
Could actually become foundational. Define your future success.
Exactly. Think about that drop you chose for today and just picture the full pot it could help build over time. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We hope this gives you some food for thought as you continue on your journey.